And so welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the King of New York tournament. A 2-show episode. A big episode. We've got a lot of matches, as you can see. We've got 3, 7, 8, 9 matches tonight. Oh, that's a lot of matches. Are you guys ready for some matches? Let's get this show on the road. We kick things off with a promo in front of 669 people, our biggest crowd yet, as Selena DiLaurentis comes out. She claims the Diamante promotions will win the King of New York tournament. She calls it, she predicts it. She tells everyone to write it down on the little virtual tournament predictions. Ooh, this is who I think's gonna win. She says she knows that her guys are gonna win. As Bestia 666 battles Space Monkey and Eli Everfly in the opening round matchup. In a decent match, Space Monkey defeats Bestia 666 and Eli Everfly in 13-10, pinning Eli with the reverse 450, getting a 46 match rating there. Space Monkey with a 49, Eli with a 39, but he was really off his game. Bestia with a 33, which isn't as high as I hoped it would have been. I think we need to give him a couple singles wins for him to start getting those ratings up. Selena did some good work at ringside. No improvements to comment upon there from either of the three men. But Space Monkey is our first person/animal in round 2. Which is of course the quarterfinals. Handle change. Yes. Oh yeah, I forgot we've got a load of gimmick changes happening. Because a lot of people had stale gimmicks. So then, in a 48 rated bout in a decent match, Chris Dickinson advances to round 2, defeating Ho Ho Loon in 11:35. Dickinson gets a 48 to Ho Ho's 45. Dickinson improves in performance. Dickinson of course won this tournament 2 years ago. He was in the final last year. Will he reach the final 3 years on the bounce? Up next, Selena DiLaurentis back out. And she demands that the fans refer to Angel Garza as their king. And they decline. Instead of calling him a king, they call him a twat, which isn't very nice. But yeah, they're not very happy that Angel's out here, that Selena's back. But they are quite happy that Bestia's eliminated, which they repeatedly say mocking Diamante Promotions, a stable which I totally don't wish I picked an easier name to pronounce. The match between Angel Garza and Andrew Everett gets a 55 match tonight so far, where in a decent match, Andrew Everett defeats Angel Garza in 14-13 by pinfall with a 450 press, following botched interference from Selena DiLaurentis. She got into the apron to distract Andrew Everett. Andrew Everett moves, Angel Garza bumps into Selena, she goes flying. Everett with the big super kick, 450 press, 1, 2, 3. Andrew Everett advances to the round 2 of the tournament, the quarterfinals. See, I went to call the round 17, but that's what this round is, because of course there are 17 men. Well, 15 men, a woman, and a monkey in this round. But a great match there as we push on. Tony Deppen then attacks Matt Fitcher pre-match during his entrance. He shoves him into the ring post, shoves him into the steel steps, rolls him in the ring. Matt Fitcher, one of the favourites for this tournament, he's going to struggle here. Tony Deppen's not an easy man to beat. But then the 49 rated match, Matt Fitcher defeats Tony Deppen in 14:34 by pinfall with a Rockin' Ruckney. Tony Deppen, this was around... Bloody hell, my bed just broke. But this was 11 minutes of Tony Deppen just beating up Matt Fitcher. Slowly decimating him. Matt Fitcher had small little glimpses of hope. And then out of nowhere, he hits him with the knee. 1, 2, 3. More rhymes from me. An elimination for Tony. Matt Fitcher is out of the round of 16 plus 1. Excuse me, made the quarterfinals. Matt Fitcher with a 54 to Tony's 32 there. It's Tony improves in performance, which is lovely to see. Good work from Tony there, improving in performance, but great rating from Matt Fitcher. Flamita battles Matt Cross. When about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Matt Cross defeats Flamita in 13:30 by pinfall with a death from above. Matt Cross, of course, missed last year's tournament. This is his first tournament in 2 years. He gets a 63 to Flamita's 45. Flamita's only an opener, so to get 45 is great, but Matt Cross with 63 is incredible. And he's improving in performance at the tender age of 41. Brilliant from Matt Cross there. As it gets the crowd buzzing, Matt Cross with a 63, the match with a 63. You love to see it, you love to see it. We then have a 66 in the next match as Dogger battles the debuting Eddie Kingston. He's finally here repping New York in New York City wrestling. Will he be crowned the King of New York? He could be, because in a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, Eddie Kingston defeats Dogger in 13:43 by pinfall with the blackout lariat following a back fist to future. He hit it, Dogger was staggered, and then Eddie lariated his fucking head off of his shoulders. Eddie's gangster gimmick gets an initial rating of below average. I probably should have altered his gimmick. That's his LAX gimmick. But Dogger with a 56, Eddie with a 67. A magnificent match there. Dogger improves in Rumble skills. That's probably a top 5 match. And it's not even the main event tonight, which is incredibly impressive. It's then Shazza McKenzie, Tracy Williams in a decent match. Tracy Williams defeats Shazza McKenzie to advance to quarterfinals in 15:21 with a pile driver. Shazza with a 39. Tracy improves in Rumble. A solid win for Tracy there. Hot Sauce advances. They shake hands following the match. A great showcase of respect there between two of our best fighters. It's then your main event for the tournament side of things. Amazin Red, Matt Sydal, tag team partners, friends, tournament. In a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Matt Sydal defeats the Amazing Red in 14:24 by pinfall with that shooting star press. Red only gets a 42, so he's better suited to tag matches if we're going all out. But Matt Sydal with a 64 there. Great performance from him and a great victory from him. As then, in your main event, in a bout that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Jacob Farto defends his heavyweight championship for the 5th time against someone on loan from our new ally in the world of wrestling, someone who's joined our alliance. We have a working relationship with them. Sendai girls over in Japan. They've sent over, Sendai sent Kairi Hojo, and she battles Jacob Farto. She'll last 15 minutes with the much bigger Jacob Farto, and Farto gets the win with a moonsault. 61 rated match. Farto with a 65 to Hojo's 46. Kairi improves on flying though, so that's good for her. A brilliant bout, a brilliant show, getting a 61 rating. What a show that was. Potentially 4 of those matches could be in our top 10 matches ever, and that's from one night. A magnificent show which sees Space Monkey, Chris Dickinson, Andrew Everett, Matt Fitchett, Matt Cross, Eddie Kingston, Tracy Williams and Matt Sydal all advance to tomorrow's Night 2 tournament matches. We need to praise people. Matt Fitchett gets praise. Matt Sydal gets praise. Matt Cross gets praise. I've just praised everyone called Matt. That's what I've done. I've praised everyone called Matt and I didn't realise it until after I'd already done it. But we love the Matts here in New York City wrestling. So Matt wrestling clinics. And if 3 of our 8 remaining competitors in the tournament are called Matt, there is a chance that we will have a Matt vs Matt matchup. Maybe we could have a Matt v Matt v Matt final. Or 3 Matts in the semi-finals. Who knows? We can't have it in the final because the final will be a singles bout. But yeah, a great show. A great tournament. We have some emails awaiting us. Blah 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 blah. Kento Miyahara is the new GHC Heavyweight Champion in Noah. Tetsuya Naito won the G1 for the 3rd time. Kairi's went back to Sendai Girls. And if we look here, we have risen up to 40th in the world of wrestling because Major League Wrestling got bought out by WWE. Of course they did. Of course they did. I'm not gonna lie, I've never had a save where this many companies have been bought out. My guess, right, is if we look here, oh yeah, we did bump up a couple of these. But if you look here, there were a lot of rivals. One by one they've been picked off. I think they've had to have these really high and it's just slowly ate out of the finances. But yeah, great first show. I don't want to make this episode too long or talk just for too long. We have risen up to 23 popularity. We are slowly getting closer and closer to that 29 importance. Got a few of those popularities on 9 as well. But yeah, I don't want to talk forever, so I'll see you guys in just a moment for night 2 of the King of New York tournament. Well, ladies and gentlemen, night 2 is booked. The 3rd ever King of New York, no, the 4th King of New York, Josh Briggs, Chris Dickinson, Matt Seidel. Yeah, this is number 4. This could end up being the best one yet. Are you ready? Let's jump. Things off with our quarterfinals in front of a crowd of 710 people in the tri-state area. In a decent match, Eddie Kingston defeats Space Monkey to advance to the semi-finals in 13:46 by pinfall with a blackout lariat. This was your classic big man versus small monkey type match. David versus Gorilla. I'm quite happy that I've come up with David versus Gorilla instead of David versus Goliath at 7 AM. I haven't even slept. I've been that hyped to get this tournament done. Space Monkey gets a 43, Eddie Kingston gets a 60. This Monkey gets Start gets a crowd hotter. A brilliant match. A great start. It's our first of our 4 semi-finalists. Who will advance with them? Andrew Everett, Matt Cross, 64 rated bout, and a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Matt Cross defeats Andrew Everett in the Battle of the BRD High Flyers in 13:39 by pinfall with a death from above. Gets the crowd buzzing. Everett with a 52 to Cross's 63. 2 very impressive performances there. As Matt Cross improves in performance again. This man is on a level. 3rd quarter final. Everett and Matt Cross shake hands. See, I didn't expect it, but that's how sportsmanship works. These 2 men, they're just so nice and they love a handshake. They want to show each other their respect. As then, Chris Dickinson defeats Tracy Williams in 15:46 in a 52 rated bout. Dickinson with a 50 to Tracy's 46 as Chris Dickinson advances to the semi-finals. Gets a crowd hot at no improvements to comment upon. Who will join Chris Dickinson, Eddie Kingston and Matt Cross? Will it be Matt Seidel or will it be Matt Fitchett? 2 men who've had a series of company. In a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, Matt Seidel defeats Matt Fitchett in 23:25 by pinfall with a shooting star press. A 66 rated bout, Fitchett with a 52, Seidel with a 67. Matt to the semi-finals. Could he back to back? And Tony Deppen attacking Matt Fitchett before his bout last night. He could have got the win. He went 23.5 minutes with injured ribs. That's a long time. And he fought last night as well. He didn't have a break, he didn't have like a week off to rest and recuperate. Then, in a decent match, Tony Deppen defeats Amazin Red and Eli Everfly in a 3-way bout in 11:35. Pinning Red with a fast roll-up. Gets a 43 rated bout. Deppen with a 34. He's not improving, unfortunately. Eli with a 41. Red was really off his game, gets a 40. So yeah, Red doing better there in his singles bout where it's not steal the show, even if he was really off his game. So it shows that in a normal singles bout he can get some. But a solid bout there. Is then we get a 62. What is this song? What is this song? Has it just stopped playing uncopyrighted? Expect this, did we? That's how long I've been recording for today. It's like made its way through the entirety of the playlist one by one. But anyways, in a good bout, Eddie Kingston defeats Chris Dickinson in the first semi-final to advance to the final in 14:46 by pinfall with a back fist to the future. 62 rated bout is excellent. A 62 performance for Kingston is in. Two people who are known to have here. 5 rated match. Our first ever, what's that, a B- rated match? Is that a B-? It's a B- for a small rated company between two men who've already wrestled tonight and about to add superb wrestling and good heat. Reborn Matt Sydal will return to the final of the King of New York tournament, defeating Matt Cross in 13:44 by pinfall with his shooting star press. Cross with a 63, Sydal with a 73. Kingston, Matt Sydal is your final. What about that? Is in a Shazza McKenzie defeats Ho-Ho Loon in 11:56 with an overdrive. Ho-Ho with a 42, Shazza with a 39. Shazza improves her performance. Lovely stuff from Shazza. Shaztastic, that is. And then out De La Renta. And Diamante Promotions claim that last night's events were a total fluke. Yeah, sure they were. And they go on about how they will win tonight. They will be victorious. Match against MCW, another company in our alliance. It's Melbourne City Wrestling, Shimmer Wrestling, and Sendai Girls Pro Wrestling, alongside ourselves. Sent over 2 of their best wrestlers to battle Diamante Promotions. And they win, as in a decent match. The team of the loose legend Adam Brooks and the aerial assassin Will Ospreay defeat Diamante Promotions in 18:24 when Ospreay pinned Bestia with a Storm Breaker. During the match we also had Selena distract Ospreay, because of course she did, but Bestia gets a 33, Garza with a 53, Brooks with a 44, Ospreay with a 64, and a good 58 rating. Performance, which is great, you love to see it. In the ring with 3 incredible performers there. Magnificent bout, and in the end, Will Ospreay and Adam Brooks win, and Diamante lose for what, the 3rd time this weekend? It's not been their weekend, has it? Excuse Selena cooks up for us next month. But then, in your main event, in a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Eddie Kingston defeated Matt Sydal in the 13:48 by pinfall with a blackout lariat followed by another blackout lariat to become your King of New York. He walks in and he walks straight back out with a crown and a throne. Eddie Kingston is king. He puts the king in Kingston. 57 rated bout. He gets a 47, Sydal with a 53. Good ratings when you consider how fatigued they will be. A magnificent show for us as Eddie Kingston picks up a microphone. He calls Jacob Farto a dead man walking on borrowed time. That motherfucker will die at the hands of Eddie Kingston. To beat Jacob Farto. He is also unbeaten here in NYCW. The show gets a 60, increasing our popularity in one region. Boys, we're gonna praise. You can probably expect us to praise after. For the first time, the game suggested we run a show outside of Tri-State, and it wanted us to run this show, which I'm quite surprised at personally. I've just realised that's moved. We've only got 9 pop there, but would have been able to draw like under 200 people, like 188 maybe. So to be honest, right, genuinely, once we keep getting more money, I think we might do a weekender where we do a normal size show on a Sunday in New York, in the tri-state area. And the night before we do a show in maybe like the New England area, but a bit of a smaller show since Hawkins is your new Intercontinental Champion, beating Scott Dawson. Mike Bennett of illegal steroids. I mean, unlucky son. Ospreay and Brooks are gone. Time to heal for a few people. And Ospreay says, even if I ever fires poor ring psychology, is probably not worth keeping around. Thank you, Osprey, for your opinion. You don't even work yet. SummerSlam was a bit disappointing considering other WWE shows that we've seen on this. That's a bit underwhelming. But there we are. Financially, we still have 13 grand. So we this month. And we've got a bit more money to make through our sponsorships. So that's not bad. We're going to make a loss. But it won't be a huge loss that's going to be detrimental, you know. We're still going to have enough money, like, to run next month, you know. In the past when we've run this show, we've had to, like, not run a show in the July. We've not been able to run a show in this September. Not have that issue is absolutely lovely. King of New York, Josh Briggs, Chris Dickinson, Matthew Sydal, Eddie Kingston. 4 brilliant wrestlers. You can't really... Farto, he's having a good reign. Tracy Williams, Josh Briggs, Chris Dickinson, Matt Cross, Kyrie Hojo, and potentially Eddie Kingston. He could have a huge title reign. And if he does defeat Eddie Kingston, then he will instantly have the second most defenses out of anyone on the roster. I think he held it from October to June, that's 8 months. So yeah, if he defeats Eddie Kingston, he will also have the second longest championship reign. Can he Josh Briggs' championship reign? Who knows? That would be an incredible feat. If we look here, our main eventers are now Eddie Kingston, Matt Fitchett, Jacob Farto, Chris Dickinson, and Tracy Williams. What a roster we have. What a tournament that was. If we look at our size, we're still on 23, but that importance has gone up to 21, and that's important, boy. Great show there from us. A great episode, if I may say so myself. I'm really happy with some of those. What we're going to do, I know we usually do this in January, just how that tournament is 100. So, night 1 was our second best show ever, and night 2 was our 4th best show ever. No, it wasn't. It was our 5th best show ever. That's the 21 one. Matt Sydal, our best ever matchup. Matt Sydal beat Matt matchup, which the one from the year before is also our 2nd best matchup. But Matt Sydal beat Matt Fitch is also our 6th best matchup. Matt Sydal is in a lot of our top 10, but again, Eddie Kingston beating Dogaz, our 4th best matchup. Matt Cross beating Andrew Everett is our 9th best matchup. That's had on our top 100. Eddie Kingston beating Chris Dickinson's in at 16. It's in at 15. Matt Cross beating Flamitas in at 13. And also, Shane Strickland beat Andrew Everett in at number of that. And Shane Strickland has one over in Japan. He's a main eventer there. He's on 53 pop. We might see him again in the future, but it would cost a bit of money to get him in. So who is getting him in? There's Sean Custom. I don't know why I've shown Sean Custom, but yeah. What an episode this has been. My 23.5 minute long, the longest we've had in this series. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all very shortly for the next episode, episode 1729.